into the property deals of the week. And what we're going to be looking at here today, actually, I forgot to change that. We're actually not going to look at that kind. We're going to be looking at Texas.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do is, I'm just going to hop off of here for a second, and we are going to get it pulled up here.
Easiest way for us to do this is just to go to our website, taxsalesupport.com, and we're going to go to the online auction section and check out the auction there. We could also check it from the auction calendar, but a lot of times if we just know it's an online auction, it's the easiest way to find it.
All right, so what we're looking at here is
Kaufman
County.
Right there at the bottom. In fact, this is their first auction. So November 1st is their first time they're going to be auctioning their properties on real auction online. In fact, there's a lot of counties in Texas. Texas has 260-something counties, something like that. And there's a lot of these counties that are moving over to an online auction, which gives more opportunity for out-of-state investors to participate within the sale. So let's go ahead and let's click on the first property. We see that it has an opening bid of around $16,000. Has a market value of around, what was that, 33? It says.
Yep, 33,000.
You know, you can see it's that lot right there. You know, one thing we would check and make sure is that the lot is buildable.
Yeah.
You know, another thing would probably check that market value, because right now you're buying it for about 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
You know, and so that might not be a very good deal. Now, if the property's worth more than that, if it's worth, 40 or 50, then buying it at 16 could be worth it. But it would definitely take a little bit more research on this property before we would buy it, because the opening bid is quite a bit higher, and also making sure that it's usable and buildable. You know what? Look at that.
Yeah, look at it. It's an easement.
It might have an easement.
Yeah, it's an easement property. You know, so we can tell there are several easements that this property is going to have to deal with. Probably
you got the power easement and the drainage.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that first property is one that
it's total junk.
Yeah, it's total junk.
You know, I would imagine. I mean, maybe you could build between there in that house to the right.
Yeah.
You know, because the house is depending on how far it goes, but you might not have enough room. You know, depending on how far your lot goes. You know, the lot may end. I don't think it with the.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
I think it's too close to that.
It's got a fire hydrant.
Yeah, I don't think it's buildable.
No.
You know, and somebody will probably end up buying. In fact, we could probably go back and do a what were they thinking, and see somebody who overpaid and spent like $40,000 for it. Now this one looks a little bit more promising as far as the, has street usage.
Yeah. Now it doesn't have an address, and so what we would need to do is back out here on the GIS and.
Well, it has the Crescent Drive,
oh, yeah,
so
Crescent
we
Drive.
we could probably find it pretty easy from there.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, that is okay. So we're looking at, that's what we're looking at right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of that weird shaped one. And if we look, right here.
Yeah,
so
it's right there, but right next to 915.
Yeah.
Where all the trees are at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Go down to that. That almost looks commercial. Go down to 915.
Oh yeah, it is commercial. That is a beauty salon. 2013 image, but yeah, that lot is actually this one right next to it, where it's essentially
or if you get the truck
uncleared. Yeah, it's this little uncleared lot. Most of where they're parking is probably
probably
probably on their own lot there. Let's see.
Same rules would apply, though. We would go ahead and make sure it's buildable, and then also check the value, because as far as it right now, it's opening for around 50% of its value.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to mention, both of these properties, because they are land, are only going to have a 6-month redemption period. In fact, they already may be into that redemption period, because most of them are going to do it when it went ahead and the judgment, or essentially the foreclosure, was done. So these might already be into the redemption period a couple of months before the auction even starts.
Yeah. So here we have another one. Let's look at this one real quick. Now this one, it looks like it has a minimum bid of $9,600 and a judged value there of $216,000.
Let's go ahead and check out the county records.
So we have improvement value here, and this is
they're giving the market value of really $292.
Yeah.
Because the assessed value is less, they're probably taking some assessments. Definitely looks commercial. We see it has legal access from both roads.
Yeah, and the address there on it. Here, let's just pull it up and take a look at it. It might help us. All right, let's see.
Used to be a tire shop.
Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting there. You can see, so this little section right here isn't included, but yeah, Wheeler's Tire Shop.
Well, and you've got the back drive from the other street, so it's accessible from both I-80 and from the other side.
Well, it's pretty big. That's a March 2021 image, and there's a giant billboard on it.
Well, and look at, they've got a for sale sign on it.
Oh, yes, they did.
So, it's possible it could redeem. And if it did, you'd be making 25% return on your money. But this property is going to have the same situation as the land, where we're talking about a 6-month redemption period. Mm-hmm. We might already be into it. So we might only have 4-5 months, maybe even less, before, essentially you would have 100% ownership. Notice that it jumped the image from 2007 to 2021 right there at the crossroad.
Yeah, right there. That's a really interesting property.
It does have a billboard there, and that's a big billboard.
Yes, it is.
And that's automatic cash flow.
Yeah. Goggins Funeral Home. Goggin is one of the lawyers. That's also one of the names of one of the the lawyers there, and one of those law firms.
So what's the market value on it? It could be $500,000. The county's showing $300,000. Yeah, and based on what I've seen off of the other real estate within this area, as far as home values, what the county has and what the state has. Let's see what it has as far as year built.
6,700.
It's not nearly as old as I thought it would be. Does that say 1998? Underneath the description, commercial.
Oh, let's see here.
Year built.
Yeah, 98.
2007.
Yeah, for the commercial main area.
So it's actually, I didn't think it was that new.
Yeah, that is pretty new, really. All of it basically, it's less than 25 years old, really. So, yeah, that's impressive, and it's pretty big. 6,700 square feet is, pretty big. This is the kind of place that could potentially rent out for quite a bit. You could have good rental income.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great property that way, commercial property, where the value of the property is going to not necessarily just be based on what you might be able to sell it for, but also what you potentially bring in income-wise by holding on to it and renting it out.
Yeah, definitely interesting property. A lot of potential uses with it.
All right, let's take a look here. We've got this one here. So let's open that up. Let's grab this here. So this property opens up as a minimum bid of $13,000 and a judged value of $155,000. And let's see what it is. So you can see it's a bigger piece of land and some structures. It looks like it has an appraised or assessed value of $194,000.
Yeah, 195. We have both, improvement value and land value. We can see the property was built in 2007.
Yeah,
and I'm not 100% sure, but it could be, a manufactured home. We've also got some outbuildings as well. We can see it was bought in 2005 with the warranty deed. So, I almost wonder if it was built in 2007, they bought the land, then, probably put on the modular home or built the home.
Yeah, let's see. There we go. Yeah, now, is that like a dirt road? Yeah, it looks like it might be. But, yeah, so you can see, it's a nice usable lot.
Grab that address down there below real quick and let's check out it on Zillow.
Value. $237,000 is what they're estimating it at.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that is a pretty good value there.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet.
Interesting property there. And
let me go back to the county record real quick. I want to see is this owner occupied or not.
Let's see, homestead capital.
So you see improvement non-homestead value.
Yeah.
So this is not owner occupied. Well, it's not a homestead property. So this is only going to have the 6-month redemption period. Actually, if you look at the address and the name address or the owner's address are the same, but they don't have it listed as a homestead property.
Yeah.
So they either have another property within their Texas that they've listed as a homestead property, or they haven't,
Yeah, for whatever reason they didn't.
Or this could be a second home.
Yeah.
It could be their, a second property. Not quite sure, but we automatically know from that this is going to have this shorter redemption period. So as we're looking here within the county records, that's what's going to let us know if there was a homestead on it. If it was underneath the homestead value, then we'd know that there's going to be a 2-year redemption period instead of the 6 months.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, let's look at. We've got one more here. Let's grab the address here. This one is in Kemp, Texas. This one has a minimum bid amount of about $12,000 and a judged value of $116,000. Oh, whoops. Well, let's see what it looks like. So we have a homesite improvement.
You can see this one here is an improvement home site value. So this one is a property that is owner occupied. In fact, if we look at the location address, Miller Road, and the mailing address of the owner, Miller Road, we can see that this is an owner occupied, and then down there underneath the owner as well, it says HS for the homestead exemption.
Yeah, right there.
So this property, this owner is going to have 2 years to pay the property off before you would have 100% ownership to it on it.
Yeah.
But you would have the ability to essentially rent the property out. You're just not going to want to put money into it because the property owner could still redeem it within that time frame.
That's it. August
not
of
a prefab.
2013 image there on.
It's just a smaller actual house.
Let's see if it pulls it up. Yeah. So valued at $163,000 is the estimated value here. It's a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, about 1,100 square feet. I guess those numbers kind of make sense there. The county says it's worth $116. It's worth about $50,000 more than that. About $160 there.
Yeah, and so this property, would have that 2-year redemption period, And if they went ahead and paid us off, we could go ahead and earn a 25% return. If it went into the second year, meaning it went all 12 months and we got into 12 months in 1 day, then you could get an additional 25%.
Yeah. Then if it redeemed,
Yeah, but
you get a great return.
And but really at this point, during that time frame, you could essentially live in the property. You could rent the property out. You just really want to avoid putting a bunch of rehab money into it.
Yeah. So those are some interesting properties here that are coming up for auction on November 1st. That's going to be at Kaufman County here through real auction.
Yeah, very first time. Well, and one thing we love to do is we love bidding the very first time these auctions come out, or the first time that they post their property for sale, because there's not a following, there's not a bunch of people that are going to be looking at it. So sometimes those first couple of auctions, you can get pretty good deals.
Yeah, that's true. Cool.